The bid today, Ms. Inky, are you going to handle that?
Mr. Price will be.
Mr. McVeigh?
Mr. Price.
I'm sorry, Mr. Price.
Mr. Gates.
The recommendation from the superintendent is to approve a bid to Microsoft for technology updates. And are there any questions from the board members or discussion on this point?
I'll say this, I didn't exactly understand all this other than the benchmark we looked at last year. And I was telling Robin earlier, I went to our IT guys at work, Old Alabama Power in Southern Country, and we purchased about 26,000 licenses every year. And I asked them about the license and all that, and they thought this was a fairly good deal, actually. So, that's my benchmark.
We'd like Mr. Price to give us kind of a summary.
Please?
Sure.
Yes.
This agreement is with, not with, it's an agreement with Microsoft, but we don't buy anything directly from Microsoft. The licensing of the software is handled through partner relationships that they have. So we put it out to bid so that the partners can give us a fair market price for the agreement. And so the agreement is with Microsoft for licensing for the operating system that goes on the PC that we purchase, Microsoft Office, any connectivity licenses. Anytime a computer connects to a server, there's a license cost for that runs over the course of a year. So anytime the computer's logged in, which we have over 6,000 computers in the district, those logins, there's not a per login charge, but an ability to license the ability to log in, or email system, or antivirus system, or anti-spam system. All of that is contained in this license. There are several other smaller components, which I'll be glad to go over if it's of interest in time to the board, but those are the main parts of this agreement. The bid lists the primary parts of that component at $44 a workstation, which is, if you imagine having an operating system on your home computer or on any office product, email, anything like that, is an extremely reduced cost, the lowest cost you'll find in education, and felt like it's a very competitive bid process. The candidates that responded were within several $1,000s of each other, and we went with accepting the lowest competitive bid, so we got the lowest price, and per unit it's actually a lower price than we were paying in previous years. It's just we have more machines now than we had in previous years. So the bid, if awarded, would go to Dell Computers, who bid on the product. So,
Questions from board members?
Keith, last year, we had to do the same thing, slightly smaller amount of money. Do we have to do this every year?
no, this is this bid would provide a 3-year price, so it would lock us in at the current year's price, which historically has gone up over. We've been doing this since at least 2005, which was my first year here. We had an agreement in place before, but it was just for office itself. So this would lock us in with the ability to renew that price in this year and the next 2 years, so for a 3-year process. It does not lock us into an agreement with Microsoft. We can cancel the agreement at the end of the coming year if we choose to. If we choose, if there's other software or hardware available that would accomplish the same thing. Or if we felt like there was a better market price, we could go out and rebid and readjust the price. So it gives us a competitive advantage to have that price locked in at this year's rates, but if we see something changing in the market, we can adjust.
Any further questions from the board? Mr. Price, I noticed that there are 6,000 desktop units involved in this, and that's just a amazing number. There are that many, basically, PCs in the system, the school system here. And that certainly does require expenditure of a lot of funds to keep them all current. All right, is there a motion?
Mr. Bell,
Yes.
will you be asking for questions from the
Yes,
audience?
yes, let's get is there a motion to approve? Second. Yes, Rob.
May I ask Mr.
Yes,
Price a
please,
question?
comments or questions from the
Mr. Price, my name is Robin Schultz. I'm an MCSE, which I'm sure you are also. It's a Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer. One of the things, tasks that I do is licensing. Is this this particular item that is up for bid, is it software assurance?
It has a component of software insurance.
Can you explain to the board what software assurance is?
Yes. Software assurance allows the district, if there's a new product to come out within the Microsoft package. An example would be moving from Office 2007 to Office 2010, which has just been released. The system has the opportunity at that point to move forward in upgrading to the next package without additional cost being added on to this agreement. So you don't have to go back out and pay an additional amount for the next software package that is worked into this agreement.
Mr. Price, is there a requirement for us to have, once we buy a cow, which is what this is, actually it's an e-cow, is that correct?
Correct.
Is there a requirement for, if we were to not purchase this today, would our computer cease to function on the network?
Would they cease to function?
Would you still be legally allowed to turn on every computer that we have right now?
We would be required to adjust our licensing to meet the requirements that Microsoft has for those licenses.
But we already own the cows, right?
We do not, the cows are owned under this agreement. So this agreement would terminate those, not renewing the agreement would terminate those cows, and we would have to purchase cows.
So we are purchasing cows on a yearly basis as opposed to a one-time purchase that entitles us to use the cow for the life of the product, is that correct?
We are, and the reason is it allows us the best way to ensure that we can upgrade as we move along, and those cows are a reduced price on that yearly basis. So we don't pay the cow the same amount for the cow each year that we would pay for it one time. It's spread out over the lifetime of that cow.
What is the cost savings if we were to go the other route, buy the cow and leave it alone until we want to rebuy cows?
The estimate that I have for purchasing at the desktop level, we're purchasing at $44 a machine, would be $232 per machine for the same cost.
Which is approximately 4.5 years of using that product. Is that a fair statement?
It would be
Actually,
over
5 years.
It would be over
Okay.
5 years.
We do not, how often do you upgrade the operating system on the client machine?
We've upgraded since I've been here from Windows XP to Windows Vista and now to Windows 7.
So this covers all the client machines to Windows 7. And does it also cover the forefront? Does it cover the exchange licenses to the latest version?
It does.
Okay. And so we, through this $289,000 that we spend every year, it's basically, we're not buying cows, we're buying the ability to buy a reduced cow. Is that correct?
It's the ability to spread the cow over the lifetime of the purchase and the ability to institute upgrades through the software assurance program.
And you say that Dell was who we're purchasing this from, is that correct?
They are the lowest bid on the current bid, yes.
And at this point in time, do you have any affiliation with Dell?
I do not have, when you say affiliation, I'm not legally engaged with Dell, no. I am a member of Dell's Customer Advisory Council, but that's my only connection with Dell.
All right, thank you.